Well, it's officially halfway through 2025, and you know what that means. What's it called? Mid-year tag, mid-year book tag. I have a list of a few things, and yeah. So, best book you've read so far in 2025. This is the only book I've given 6 stars this year. Right, 6 out of 5 stars is Between Us. I love this book so much. So basically it is about Roisin? I actually don't know how to pronounce her name. So it's about Roisin and her boyfriend, and they're going to this celebration with their friend group, and it's like multiple things happening at once. I believe it's like an engagement and a birthday party, and then Joe, who is Roisin's boyfriend, he just made a show, and they're also going to watch the premiere of the show. But as the show is airing, Roisin notices some interesting things happening, a little too close to reality, and she's wondering if the thing she sees in the show is actually real life. Then that's when it gets insane. Like, the friend group, people leave the group chat. Like, it's such a good book. And I actually read this on Kindle first, and then I went back in and I added in all my notes on the Kindle in here. On page 108, I really liked, there being no correct and appropriate moment to raise any problem was one of the ways the game felt rigged. This book was so good, and I did something really evil when I read this because I could relate to a lot what was happening in this book. I inserted myself in the story. I put myself as Matt, and then everyone else I knew in my life, I assigned them a character in this book, and I think it elevated that experience for me. It's more than a romance. It's way more than that. It's definitely more in the literary fiction category. It spoke to me. This book spoke to me, and I can understand how this book will not be for everyone, but I think this book just came to me right place, right time. I could go on about this book forever. I love it so much. We're moving on before this video is 10 million years long. Best sequel you've read so far. For this, I'm gonna go The Survivor Wants to Die at the End. I don't have the physical book with me. I listened to it on audiobook, and I was hooked. I was really hooked on this story. It was so good, and also it covered really deep topics, but I was still very invested. It was really good. And I think the audiobook too, because there was the different POVs and everyone had a different voice actor. It was great. And I was so invested. It's also a little bit romance. I mean, I liked if they both die at the end, and then the first to die at the end, I didn't really like that much. I just didn't really care. But The Survivor Wants to Die at the End, that one I really liked. And I remember seeing how long it was, and I was kind of taken aback, but even when it was done, I still wanted more. So let's move on. A new release you haven't read yet, but want to. Conditions of Will. She wrote the Magnolia Park series. I actually have a hold at my library, and there's still 5 people ahead of me, so Okay, biggest surprise. I have If Cats Disappeared from the World. This is nothing like I would ever pick up. Again, I listened to this on audiobook originally, and I heard about this because it was the Barnes & Noble $5 book at the cafe. Oh, it got a little dent. No! Dude! It's okay. It's okay. This is Cabbage. He's such a cutie patootie. He's a pookie, but it's not really about Cabbage. It's basically what this book is about. It kind of has a magical realism element to it, but I don't really know if it's literary fiction. This guy basically finds out he's going to die, and this kind of devil guy, his name's Aloha, I really like him, I think he's silly, comes in and goes, okay, for every day you get rid of something, you can live another day. So you kind of just see that unfold, and it's not long. This book is less than 200 pages. It's one of those books when you're done reading it, you just kind of stare at a wall and just go, what did I read? So this book got 5 stars. I had to get a physical copy of it because I definitely want to read it now, and I want to annotate it. This was a really big surprise, and I'm really glad Barnes & Noble had that $5 deal, because then I found out about this book. Next! Biggest disappointment. I know this book isn't new, but the biggest disappointment for me was Ruthless Vows, which is the Divine Rivals sequel. I loved Divine Rivals. I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. What is in my eye? And then Ruthless Vows, I gave 3 stars, and I read it back to back, so maybe that's what also ruined it for me. But it was just not good. I stopped caring. I stopped caring. I can't really pinpoint why. I didn't like it. A book you can't believe you haven't read yet. Every month I say I'm gonna read this book, and I haven't. It's getting ridiculous at this point. I really don't have an explanation. And watch me hate this. I don't think I will. But watch me, like, absolutely. Knowing my luck. Anyways, best audiobook. You might be thinking, what? I love a good audiobook. I just want an excuse to talk about them, but the How to Train Your Dragon audiobooks that are narrated by David Tennant. I think I'm on book 7 right now. When I don't have an audiobook available, the How to Train Your Dragon ones are all on YouTube. I just throw those on, and they're about 3-ish hours, give or take. And there's music in them, which I really love, and it's David Tennant. They are so silly. Fair warning. The books are nothing like the movies. Obviously, the books came first. Some fun Jordan lore, alright? I read the books when I was a wee lad. I think I got up to book 8 or 9. I got pretty far into the series. I don't think I ever actually finished it. And then they announced the movie. So this shows you my age. I was actually so disappointed in the movies just because they were so different. Now I appreciate them separately. I love both of them. I love the books and I love the movies. But it took a little getting used to, because the biggest difference is everything actually. But one of the main ones that I noticed first was Toothless. In the book, he's a little green dragon, actually toothless. All the dragons speak Dragonese, and Hiccup is the only one that understands Dragonese. And also how they get their dragons is very different. I forget which one it is, but there's one where they're just, like, searching for a potato, and they're like, that's not real, you're insane. It's really silly. It's a good time. And it's narrated by David Tennant, so best audiobooks kind of had to go to David Tennant. Alright, and then the last one I'm going to do is a hyped up book that actually lived up to the hype. See, I read this the day it came out, so I guess the hype was always there. I read this in two weeks, but also I was at school. I think it was like the middle of midterms, and the fact that I knocked it out that quickly is pretty impressive for me. Oh, and I'm so excited for the movie, which I believe they're starting production next week. I needed a prompt to talk about this book. It is so good. It is so good. And the people complaining that it's just fan service, like all the old characters, like, yeah, and there's still a lesson to be learned. I feel like you're missing the point, because everyone was simping over Snow and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so Suzanne Collins went, here you go. I kind of want to reread the whole Hunger Games trilogy. Maybe not Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. That book is my least favorite. I wasn't a big fan of it when it first came out. But the original trilogy for sure, because there's some key details that I remember that they included that they didn't include in the movie, but I'm wondering how many more I forgot that they didn't include in the movie. The biggest one I remember is the Mutts in the first book. The Mutts have the eyes of the other That would have been sick if they included that in the movie. Sick and twisted. And I remember things in Catching Fire that they didn't include as well. So I definitely want to go back and be like, and then knowing me, I'm going to want to read Divergent, and then I'm going to want to read Maze Runner, and it's going to be a whole big cycle. But then that could also be a video. I don't know, man. So that is my mid-year book tag. I hope you enjoyed. And this was also just an excuse for me to talk about books. I'll see y'all in the next one. Maybe it'll be a vlog. Who knows? Who knows where the wind's gonna take me? I don't plan this. Did I do an outro? Well, if I didn't do an outro, then that's editing Jordan's problem. I treat filming me and editing me as two different people. And then I get mad at each other. It's really fun. That's it. We're done here.